Hello, my name is Kenneth Jesse, and this is Election Brief. Within the next 30 minutes, we have the latest update from the political scene. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, all social media handles, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. Election Headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity, and Chartered Institute of Management Accountant and the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants. Election Headquarters for an informed electorate. Please stay tuned in. You're welcome to the program. Electoral Commission Chairperson Jim Mensah has assured the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council of organizing a peaceful election in December. Speaking after a closed-door meeting with the leadership of the GPCC on measures put in place to ensure a successful election, Jim Mensah said the EC will maintain the constitutional instruments that were used in 2020 elections while beginning processes of scrapping the use of indelible ink in the 2028 elections.
As you may be aware, in each election year, the EC engages key stakeholders within our country's budget. And we, as a first step, we thought that we would come into the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council as part of our stakeholder engagement. Indeed, this is the first group that we are consulting and we're visiting, and the essence is to share with the leadership of the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council our program of activity for the 2024 election, and also to seek their feedback and their guidance, to ensure that our work is well grounded in law, and that the outcomes of our work promote peace and stability of our country. So this is the essence. This was the essence of our visit to the Pentecostal Council.
So what are the key takeaways from this engagement?
Well, I must mention that we discussed with them some of the policies that will guide the elections in 2024. Key among those policies is the Commission's decision to maintain the CIs that govern the registration and the election. And so the CIs that were used for the 2020 election will govern the 2024 election as well, and nothing changes. This means that we will continue to use the Duranta system, and we will continue to use the indelible ink as part of our process. We did emphasize, though, that because of the adoption of the biometric register, there was no need to use the indelible ink, because every individual is identified with their fingerprints, and every individual in the world has unique fingerprints, and no two individuals have the same fingerprint, and therefore the indelible ink is not necessary. However, following our discussions with the stakeholders and at the IPP level, it was felt that for this election we should continue to use it, because it gives, because it gives some comfort and it gives some assurance. People go away feeling that we voted, we have the mark on our hands. The parties did agree, and once we explained to them, they did come to the realization that we need with the biometric registration.
So that was the EC chairperson, Jim Mensah. Meanwhile, chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyamiche, admonished politicians to desist from enticing voters with money and allow the electorates decide who leads them without monetary influence. Apostle Nyamiche said the GPCC suggested to the Electoral Commission to amplify its education on the electoral processes to the citizenry, most of whom belong to one faith or the other.
Education and all that.
What were those suggestions?
Yeah, one of the main suggestions was education. And we think that the EC should always go ahead of the politicians. And so when they have an IPAC meeting for one, they should issue a communique. And so that one comes out and people know that this is what really happened, than for them to be reacting to what politicians are saying. like issues on the indelible mark for one. Not many indelible ink for not many Ghanaians actually understand the nitty-gritties of it. And so things like if you want them to go out and then educate the date for the election and all that, they have to do the education as to preventing minors from voting and then registering and all that. We think that this is to do much more education. And we also do our best as a council to support their work, because Ghana is our country. We don't have any other. In an election year like this, we all have to come on board and make sure that Ghana wins, not any political party.
Okay. So any message for political parties in the lead up to the election as campaign begin to each other?
Yes, as the elections is tension, so we want to please plead with our political parties to please put Ghana first. They should put their strategies together, but their strategies is not supposed to overrun the principles that they know that will govern a peaceful election. We are also aware of the monetization of elections that is going on in our nation. We want to plead with them that they should please respect Ghana, and then they should make sure that they don't actually deceive people by giving them election just to vote for them election. Let the people vote because of the issues and the policies and their manifestos that they get, instead of coercing them with money and all that. As for vigilante, I think they've made a lot of vigilante, so I don't want to talk about it. But they should also give space for the police to do their work. And we also want to plead with the police and the security agencies to contribute their role without being compromised. Even our traditional rulers, they are not supposed to be partisan. They should sit back together with the ministers so that when there are issues, we can come in as referees and people will be able to bring peace. So our chiefs and grandmothers, we are pleading that they back off. They also have just one vote like all of us. They should be content with that so that politicians will not run them around.
Away from the Electoral Commission, the founder of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako, is worried about what he refers to as government's failure to institute effective measures to address youth unemployment. He said this in his engagement with the Pentecostal Traditional Council during his regional listening tour in the Ahafo region. He said so far he has toured 3 regions, and from his assessment, youth unemployment is high and poses threats to the country. According to Nana Kwame Bediako, since the MPP government has failed to combat youth unemployment, they must not give the party another chance to govern the country, marketing himself as the best person to help address the situation. The paramount chief of Ahafo Goso traditional area, Nana Kwesi Bosompra, who was pleased with the ideas of the founder of the new force, said the practice where successive governments abandon uncompleted projects of the previous government is contributing to the lack of development in the country. Let's talk about the NDC this afternoon, because the flag bearer of the party, John Mahama, says the current economic hardship being felt by Ghanaians can be attributed to poor governance. To him, the government's attempt to paint a picture of economic recovery and improvement in lives contradicts the reality on the ground. And in his tour of the Greater Accra region, the former president said the continuous attempt to blame his previous NDC administration for the present misfortunes shows the MPP government is unfit for office. Nana Yaojima has more in the following report.
The NDC's Building Ghana tour of the Greater Accra region ended with a Campus Connect event at the Accra College of Education. Here, student leaders took turns to propose solutions to challenges in the education sector.
All the law faculties in Ghana should be able to run the professional course, because we believe that the lawyers teach us in our classrooms. I want to know what Chazo Makola.
All we need is an enabling environment to make our hard work successful. That's all we are asking for.
Economic hardship has been central in touring 14 of the 16 regions of the country to seek public inputs into the NDC 2024 manifesto. Based on the feedback, the NDC flag bearer concluded the citizenry is reeling under the present administration.
Bob Marley sang a song, and he said, "Who feels it, knows it." Ghanaians are living the reality of their lives. And so you can do all the propaganda you like. You can do all the miscommunication you like. If fundamentals are weak, you can do all the propaganda you like. You can tell all the lies you like. The fundamentals are weak. The reality of Ghanaians' lives will expose you. And so we are living the reality. And it's universal, from the Atlantic Ocean to our northern border, from our border with Togo to Cote d'Ivoire. Every Ghanaian feels the pinch. And when you see somebody who is not fit for office, they are the kind of people who, after 8 years, will continue to blame their predecessor for the problems that they are encountering.
Mr. Mahama further observed the recent economic challenges of the country are self-inflicted.
Let me say it for emphasis. The driver Panza and his mates they were going into a ditch, and we, the passengers, and the experienced drivers who are in the bus, were shouting and telling them the bus is going into a ditch, and don't mind us.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mahama has described as untrue the government's claim of building more roads than any other government.
Today, look at the roads. And the thing is, they rely just on propaganda. And so the president comes and says, we've built more roads than any government in history. But the reality, we can see the roads. The roads are all in poor shape. This is the first government that doesn't know that you have to maintain a road after you've built it. And so all the roads that we left them, today go and see, they are riddled with potholes. And they believe that you can use propaganda and lies to run a country. You can use it to seize power, but you cannot use propaganda and lies to run a country. Because eventually, those lies will unravel. The president says, we've done 10,000 kilometers of roads. If you take a plane from Accra and you fly directly to China, that is 10,000 kilometers. So if you've done roads from here to China, where are the roads?
The Building Ghana tour makes the next stop in the Oti region.
Let's stay a while with the opposition NDC, because the national chairman of the party has cautioned supporters against clamoring for positions in government ahead of election victory. Johnson Esiedun-Ketia says such actions can ruin the party's success at the polls. Speaking at a meeting with NDC supporters as part of their Building Ghana tour, he said the party members should rather keep the focus on winning power. Nana Yaojima has more in the following report.
The NDC chairman is already on a mission of reconciliation among party members across the country. According to Johnson Esiedun-Ketia, visits to some constituencies have revealed interest in some positions in government have caused chaos among party members.
We've been going to the various constituencies in the region. There are places you go, and the difference is about somebody has said that when we win, I will appoint the DC. And then that becomes the major bone of contention why you cannot even cooperate to win first. If you don't win, how do you get that DC? There are places where somebody will be fighting that. I have heard that that person is in that person's good books. And I've heard rumors that he will be appointed over me. So let me try and make sure we can win. Let's go for the hunting first. And when we bring the meat, we then decide who take the head, who take the quarter, who take this and who take that.
The NDC chairman says unity remains the important element in the quest for power. To him, the cause of disunity among party members may come from any quarters, especially their opponents.
And if you are being used, you don't know that you are being used, then there's something wrong. The biggest problem the MPP is having now is unity. If you don't have that unity, you can have all the money in the world, you can't win election. So they would want to create this unity amongst us, so they can weaken us and defeat us. So don't think that whatever is happening amongst us, our other brothers are not interested. They are very interested.
The NDC is targeting over 2 million votes in the Greater Accra region in the general elections. Secretary of the Greater Accra Parliamentary Caucus of NDC, Sam George, says the caucus is ready for the task ahead.
Mr. President, we have identified 9 operational zones or 9 operational constituencies where, as members of parliament, we will be stepping in to assist our parliamentary candidates to ensure that we capture and increase the votes that exist for the NDC in those constituencies. And so, again, as members of parliament, we will be funding fully these operations in those 9 constituencies. And as far as we are concerned, our 20 MPs, Mr. President, you are sure that those 20 are returned to Parliament by hook or crook. We will bring them back to Parliament.
For joining us, Accra.
We stay a while with the NDC because the Central Regional Executives of the National Democratic Congress say their flag bearer could not have settled for a better running mate than Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Addressing the media, the regional executives insisted the qualities of Professor Opoku-Agyeman will help improve the fortunes of the party in the 2024 elections and ultimately lead the party to victory.
Her list of achievements alone will keep us here all day long. She has indeed proven herself to be a distinguished and hardworking servant to the good people of Ghana. Customary of the NDC, we will officially welcome our 2024 running mate back home to the region, that's the central region. The regional tour will cover a period of 4 days. It will start from Ewutu-Senya East constituency and ends in Cape Coast. Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman will use the opportunity to meet chiefs, imams, interact with market women and other stakeholders as she officially kickstarts her campaign ahead of the 2024 general elections in December. We, however, deem it more appropriate to engage you, our respected media men and women in the region, to officially express our most profound appreciation to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for exposing his unflinching trust and confidence in the venerable academic who partnered him during the 2020 general elections as his running mate, and we can proudly say that the significant impact of the pair on the fortunes of the NDC in the 2020 elections were evidently clear and highly attestable. We look forward to productive engagement with the good people of the region and pledge the commitment of the NDC party to the welfare and development of the region, which has found expression in some of the policy proposals put forward, including the 24-hour economy policy, big push, Ejumapa, just to mention a few. We, the regional party, are fully grateful to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for this great honor done on our great dear sister,
modern, and virtuous academic whose special uniqueness and attribute will contribute significantly towards our drive to rescue this, our dear country, from the hands of the highly reckless driver and his insincere mate. As we are fully committed to working diligently to help the party win more seats in the region and also win the presidential vote hands down, we have no doubt whatsoever that for the Nina partnership, each essential drama will be the magic wind that will bring a resounding victory to the NDC to make the huge public outcry for change a reality. We trust that the high level of integrity she has exhibited throughout her public life will enable her to restore the integrity of the office of the Vice President, as Ghanaians have always known that office to be, As an astute academic, Professor Gina Pokwajima will not run away from her responsibilities, but she will fully partner His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to bring the desired change Ghanaians deserve.
We have more on what will inform the choice of voters in the Enya area come December 7th. Here is today's voter's voice.
Yes, I did send your man a quantity and ordering because I better have it up a crying to him. And the area had the bonfire say because of new MP now, Benintino. Your present is on Lano to me, Jumamoy, because I had a witchery by Ojidio anymore.
So, 7 flat, one was no fiano team where Kumolo Bibione, they come 12 city. In your banner, any 15 cock and 20 po. Ahe, any 35. You can afford to pay Paco. Or fear 1p, 1 go, chake. Call telling you about top one, then over any hour. Or go on Paffa Conima. Nibia by here, few, natural few, and one fair 1 eye jolly. And
Mammy, what? I any scabber mammy. And a scout one big of school 1 hour, 1 hour. Mammy, one call telling you about one and over. Mugo by any come back as cabe. I chain and wale. I feel a canjalamiwa. Can it be?
She can let me not French. Yan word more, let dear no word room. One do more Gemino, one do more Gemini. Ma, Anna Jolly, no affair 1 eye jolly. She mammy a watch 1 pin, big cannot be fame pin. Or any pioneer, bad jabba, baba. Lao noni wapione agbe mi sani ma jano koni ma aya hiya wo few wo fe one piece bona
chicken mo for the first no e fan she bia no e be fon ba bele ye no ni mo kokonkron e abata no ni wo kwani le oni ne ba fe ma mi awo
Ghana ntonto amasasa na ba na kufodo fa aji ka klomo la vida ka ma ja klomo akọvulu ko mi da kro ka tamalangu afia ma chama fukpan amola ko amoli ko mi ko du ko mo pe adafula Ghana ta akoda da aka ya jidafola shinya ni mala party daga jiu aka ne ba afoya ma no onyo Ghana to gara ma chama da ko na Joy Mahama go da ko ni ya ma tun da ma chama no me kana da ko na for do ba ka for tunu na ngbe
I did all that conform. 1 week near me coffee near no one that subum. Me quite talk a cry, my baby discount your mumma economy no and conform.
Be that cocha. Iba obong shang yo ganami kaka. Nana kama nyomo. Mi fukpan bu vasa de fifia. Fifia mi vati maha mi mangjago chon dibu. Zanado mi ajira 15 cedi akpa ya po mo fifia di divate mi anti mi manyanka ogamilota. Akoya la mi anyale ke mi akoha ya dage na mi avola jukoma
mi baby ami jana mi jira me to ma ba me insisan na economy di obebe bia obi entumi insisan wi ase na mai ya ni nti omo ma economy ni nkofo
Generally, things are very difficult. there's no way to sugarcoat things. Things are generally very difficult. Things are very expensive. You spend a lot of money, you don't get what you want, you know. So, I mean, generally, it's not something that you want to hide. Like it's everybody, it's clear. Everybody can see that things are harder, you know. Everything that's going to influence me, if I'm going to vote, is going to be economical. I'm not really caring too much about who is nice or who is the better. I'm looking for what to make my economic situation better, to be honest.
That's it for today's election brief. My name is Kenneth Jesse. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.